Magandang umaga mga kapitek. Ako po si Sir Willie Gieb. Ako po ang inyong lead trainer ng ating PTech Encash Review. Ang aking pagpasa ay noong 2015 at ako po ang isa sa mga top passers ng aming batch. Nandito po ang mga videos na gagawin po natin para sa inyo upang kami makatulong sa inyong goal na makapasa at maging isang full-fledged na school principal. Ang PTech program na inyong napapanood at magiging parte ng inyong journey ay hindi lang po simpleng individual videos, but rather ito po ay isang programa, kaya inaanyayahan ko kayo na i-explore ang aming channel para makita nyo po ang iba't ibang mga sessions at iba't ibang mga mock test na ibibigay po natin para makatulong po sa inyong mga kapite. So, enjoy learning and good luck sa inyong journey. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik sa aming video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Maraming salamat. Ayan, magandang araw mga kapitek. Andito na naman po tayo sa isang video ng inyong review. And this time, ang ating focus ay ang pinaka-latest na DepEd Order governing ang School Governance Council or the SGC na tinatawag natin base po sa ating DepEd Order number 26 series of 2022. So what you will see in this video ay yung full discussion na ang DepEd Order na ito, kasama na po ang ilang mga questions and answers to check your understanding. Kaya tingnan na natin ang unang tanong para sa ating check your understanding number 1. What is the main function of the School Governance Council? So meron po tayong 4 na choices. Tingnan po natin mabuti kung alin diyan ang sa tingin ninyo ang main function ng School Governance Council or the SGC. Go! Okay, time's up. Tamang sagot po natin ay letter A. It serves as the overarching, consultative, and coordinating bodies for all committees, associations, and organizations in the school. That is verbatim na kinopya na po natin yan para lang po ma-emphasize natin kung ano nga ba yung primary function ng ating School Governance Council, right? So, it's a consultative and coordinating body para sa lahat po ng mga committees sa loob ng paaralan at iba't ibang mga association. So, later on, makikita natin yung dalawang major purposes po niya. Hindi po nito nire-replace ang PTA kasi meron pa rin pong PTA na yan at yung PTA naman na yun ay siya pa rin po yung isa sa mga representatives na makikita natin among the different compositions ng ating School Governance Council. Dati, tawag po natin dito ay School Governing Council. Okay? It is entirely responsible for the planning and implementation of the School Improvement Plan. Hindi po. Dahil meron pa rin po tayong tinatawag na SPT or the School Planning Team. Doon po sa last video natin na napanood niyo po yun, ay pinag-usapan natin yung SIP development at nabanggit po natin na ang responsable sa pagbuo ng ating school improvement plan ay yun pong tinatawag natin na School Community Planning Team. It is responsible in assisting the management in the daily operations of school. Hindi rin po yan. Okay? Check your understanding number 2. What are the 2 major purposes of the School Governance Council? All right. The correct answer is letter A. It's a structure for shared governance and at the same time feedback mechanism. Okay, policy making and SIP implementation, not necessarily entirely true for that. Feedback mechanism and policy making, SIP implementation and feedback mechanism. Ang tamang sagot po ay ang letter A. Yan po ay yung 2 major purposes of the School Governance Council. Makikita po natin yan sa ating DepEd Order number 22, 26 series of 2022. Understanding number 3, which of the following is not true regarding the composition of the School Governance Council? Go. Okay, time's up. Ang tamang sagot po natin ay letter A, no? The designated co-chairperson shall be the school representative chosen by the school head, the PTA president, and the student government president. You have to take note na ang designated co-chairperson po ay chosen lamang ng school head, no? Yun yung trabaho ni school principal. So siya ay pipili among the different personnel sa kanyang roster ng faculty at ito dapat ay merong isang qualification. Makikita natin kung anong major qualification ng isang designated co-chairperson. Okay? So, yan po ay not true dahil hindi po kasama sa pag-decide dyan ang PTA President at ang Student Government President. Tama po ang BCD. There shall be a four ex officio members composed of the designated co-chairperson, SSG representative, PTA representative, and faculty club representative. Yan po yung tinatawag natin na apat na ex officio members. Meron po tayong voting members na binubuo ng 7 to 15 na mga members coming from the different organizations. And from the 7 to 15 members, kasama na po doon yung tatlong SGC officers. Sino ito mga SGC officers na ito? Una, meron kang designated co-chairperson to be designated by the school principal. Meron kang elected co-chairperson na mananalo sa voting. Kasama na po yung elected secretary na mananalo din po sa voting ng mga miyembro na napili out of the 7 to 15 members na nabanggit na po natin kanina. Alright? So, yan. Yung mga, so, I hope check ninyo ha kung gaano kalalim yung alam ninyo. Dapat kung 3 out of 3 ka, ibig sabihin, marami ka nang alam pagdating sa bagong-bago na School Governance Council. Kung hindi naman, ay kailangan natin na magpatuloy at magbasa pa para mas marami pa tayong malaman tungkol dito sa DepEd order na ito. Right? So ito ay yung DepEd order number 26, series of 2022. Ito yung implementing guidelines on the establishment of the School Governance Council. Okay? Tingnan natin yung kanyang rationale. Very important na banggitin natin yung mga rationale na ito dahil saan ba nanggagaling yung ating School Governance Council? Definitely, ang ating School Governance Council ay ito ay galing sa ating RA 9155 that emphasizes that every unit is in the education bureaucracy is responsible and accountable for the continuous improvement of the learning outcomes. So naka-anchor pa rin ito under the principle of the shared governance, which is participatory decision making driven by the active engagement of school stakeholders na nakapaloob sa ating paaralan. Okay? So yan po yung pinaka-primary na rationale po natin. And at the same time, of course, makikita natin dito yung adoption ng policy na ito that would institutionalize the SGC and to be able to encourage a stronger partnership among stakeholders that will contribute to a more effective implementation of the SBM and other matters pertaining to the policy and as a feedback mechanism ng ating paaralan. Kasi makikita natin yan later on na yun yung two major purposes ng ating School Governance Council. Okay? May mga, how do you call that, mga terms that are relative to that, pero hindi na po natin ibabanggitin yan. You just have to download the material. Ang i-highlight lang po natin ano yung mga napaka-importante na bagay na alam mo regarding the School Governance Council. Okay? But importante din na meron ka pa rin terms like the PIA, bakit nandito pa rin itong Priority Improvement Area? It's because kasama sa functions ng ating School Governance Council, no? Yung participation doon sa crafting and implementation ng ating mga SIPs. Okay? Policy statement. Ayan, tingnan natin yung mga guidelines and then the procedure. So dito sa bandang baba, babanggitin po natin yung ating pinaka-main point that the SGC shall function as a structure for shared governance and a feedback mechanism at the school level. However, the SGC shall not manage the school and shall not have a separate and distinct juridical personality apart from the school. So ito yung two major purposes po natin na nabanggit kanina. Una, for shared governance at ang pangalawa po ay for feedback mechanism at the school level. Okay? It will not replace PTA at saka yung mga SSC for that matter, alumni, no. But rather, the school governance council will have to include participation from these different groups that are within the school para nang sa ganon ay maging more democratic yung proseso ng policy development. At the same time, yung feedback mechanism na nababanggit natin kanina ay mas marami yung mga data na pwede natin na makuha as to the ano na nga bang nangyayari sa school, ano na bang direction meron siya, how well the school is able to implement yung iba't ibang mga programs that are being implemented. Right? Ayan, the SGC shall, no, as a structure for shared governance. Ito yung binabanggit natin kanina. Dito po nakapaloob yung ating structure for shared governance. And at the same time, ito din po yung nagiging basehan, no? Para nang sa ganun magkaroon ng efficient na feedback mechanism. Bilang a structure ng shared governance, tandaan natin na ang SGC ay ito yung kanyang mga function. Serves as a collective and consultative body for the school plans, programs, activities, and strategic direction. Sa amin po, yung school na hawak ko po ngayon, ay meron po kaming, syempre, we followed no, yung guidelines ng ating SGC. And right now, nagkakaroon sila ng regular meeting. Dahil binuo na namin ito and meron na silang structure, alam na nila yung kanilang purpose, alam na nila kung bakit sila nandoon, gina-guide na lang po natin yung organization na ito para nang sa ganon ay maging aligned yung kanilang mga activities at ang kanilang mga programa na naaayon sa SGC na DepEd order. Okay? It serves as the overall coordinating body that will synergize, harmonize, and put together the work of the different school committees, including but not limited to the SPT, the disaster risk reduction management, and so on. In our case, nagkaroon kami ng internal structure na hindi naman siya lumihis doon sa aming o the different functions that are identified based sa DepEd order. We made sure that all our PPAs ay dumadaan sa approval and the resolution of approval ng aming SCC. Para nang sa ganun alam nila na collectively ito yung ini-implement namin na program. Right now we are implementing a particular PPA under our SIP, nasa pangalawang taon na. Roughly, yes. Second year na ngayon yung Project Smart. In our case kasi we are developing or we are implementing yung tinatawag natin na Project Smart in line with the general objective of the school na tinatawag naman namin na the Model School Initiative or the MSI. Ang aming MSI or the Model School Initiative ay maraming mga pinaka-programa niya na naka-anchor naman sa aming SIP pero pinangalanan lang namin na MSI or the Model School Initiative. So lahat ng mga programa namin ay naka-anchor dun sa structure na yun. But at the same time, the SDC is there to help us out in coordinating the different programs of the different organizations so that all the activities will now be gearing towards the MSI or the Model School Initiative. It serves as a platform to cultivate the spirit of bayanihan among the stakeholders or yung spirit of volunteerism na tinatawag natin. Tingnan naman natin yung as a feedback mechanism. As a feedback mechanism, it will help the school improve and sustain the feedback system by strengthening the practices that promote stakeholders' participation. Since hawak naman po nila yung membership ay halos lahat ng mga organizations within the school. Assist the school in ensuring transparency in its operations and performance, okay, and recommend ways of improving the quality of basic education services and school performance to the school management and so on. Okay, so ulitin natin, dalawa po yun, yung major purposes niya. Una, structure for shared governance, at ang pangalawa, feedback mechanism. Ito ang nagbibigay ng mga reports or nagmo-monitor, nagbibigay ng monitoring guide para nang sa ganun makita ni school kung itong programa na ini-implement niya effective pa ba or hindi na. Itong programa ba na to ay naka-align pa rin ba o hindi na doon sa gustong mangyari na general objective base sa ating SIP. Okay? Yan. Meron siyang specific functions but all these specific functions ay anchored doon sa two major purposes po niya. Participating in formulation and participating actively in the formulation and implementation of the SIP, nabanggit ko na kanina, communicating with the SPT, recommending to the school or as well as to the LGU through the LSB, the strengthened support of and relationship with the LGU, the different PPAs that would like to be implemented, organizing meetings, submitting report of the SGC, supporting the dissemination of school data, conduct orientation and advocacy activities, attending pertinent school meetings, preparing a report on irregularities. Syempre, sila nakakaalam niyan. If there are irregularities in the organization, kailangan na ma-implement yung mga necessary guidelines and should be filed to the proper disciplining authority. Okay? Attend and conduct preschool school level training, work collaboratively in the different organizations, and more importantly, ito ay nakikipag-collaborate sa SPT para kapag-devise ng iba't ibang mga responsive programs para po sa ikauunlad ng paaralan. I would like to highlight the structure of the School Governance Council. You have to take note, si principal nasa labas po siya ng WACS. Ayan. Okay? Sinong bumubuo ng ating School Governance Council? Meron kang designated co-chairperson. Sinong nag-a-assign po nito? Si principal. Okay? Kailangan, pag pinili ni principal yung designated co-chairperson, tinitignan niya itong mantra nando that the school head shall designate a school representative who exhibits the leadership competencies reflected in domain number 6, community linkages and professional engagement of the PPST, no? Or naka-anchor sa DepEd Order number 42 series of 2017. Okay? Ngayon, meron kang elected co-chairperson at meron kang elected secretary. Pag nabuo na natin itong 7 to 15 na members, okay? Out of the 7 to 15 na members, i-decide or i-elect ng 15 miyembro na yan kung na-meet nga na natin yung 15 or minimum ng 7. Kung na-meet mo na yung number, magkakaroon ng election, secret balloting na tinatawag, para i-elect kung sino yung gusto nila na maging co-chairperson at kung sino naman ang gusto nila na maging secretary. So during election, dalawa lang na positions ang ipipill up. Okay? At sino lamang ang boboto? Yung mga voting members pa lamang. I hope na malinaw po ito, no? Kasi meron din tayong tinatawag na mga non-voting council members. So kung gusto pa natin na dagdagan yung mga membership, okay lang naman. Pero they will be falling under the non-voting council members na. Basta ang pwede lang na bumoto ay yung 7 to 15 na members according po dito sa ating structure. Okay? Malinaw po dapat sa atin ito yung struktura ng ating mga school governance council. Okay? So pwedeng maging 7 hanggang 15 depending sa school typology, gaano kalaki. And upon determining the total number of the SCC members, the 4 ex officio members through a deliberative and consensus process shall then select the council members who will complete the composition of the school governance council. Additional members may be allowed through the SCC find it necessary based on their own particular context. Okay? Yun din mabigat yung trabaho ng ex officio kasi the ex officio will be yung 4 na ex officio members na yan, they will be the one determining who among the different organizations will be properly represented. Okay? Yung ating ex officio members. Sila yung pipili doon sa 7 hanggang 15 na mga miyembro ng School Governance Council. Kapag nangyari na napili na yung 15, halimbawa kung 15 yung target, then pwede nang magkaroon ng election. Sino i-elect? Dalawa lang naman. Una, yung elected co-chairperson at ang pangalawa, yung elected secretary. Alright? Malinaw ha? Dapat ito sa atin. Ano pa? The roles of the SGC members or mga nakalagay din po dyan, yung mga trabaho nila. Ang designated co-chairperson ay halos walang pinagkaiba sa trabaho ni elected co-chairperson. Ano lang, ang elected co-chairperson kasi pwede na siyang manggaling sa iba pang mga miyembro ng voting members. Pero bakit meron ka pang designated co-chairperson? It's because, syempre, meron dapat pipiliin si principal na ilalagay niya doon na trusted niya along that line na may kakayanan to lead the SGC para nang sa ganon ay merong proper coordination, no, yung ating School Governance Council in terms of yung understanding nila as to their role and how it will be able to assist and be complementing the management of the school via the school head. Okay. So, it has to be very clear po sa atin. So, meron pong mga trabaho dito ang ating designated co-chairperson, preparing agenda, presiding the meeting, basic lang naman. Sabi ko nga kanina, ang designated co-chairperson ay halos walang pinagkaiba sa trabaho naman ni elected co-chairperson. Okay? Preparing the agenda, presiding the meeting, signing communication, and so on. Okay? Discuss with the school head the direction of the SGC. Yung secretary din, naka-specify din po yung kanyang functions. Nandito po ang mga yan. I will not going to dwell particularly on that. Okay? And then, nandito din yung mga trabaho ng mga voting council members. Ito po, no? These are the functions of the voting council members. And ito naman yung trabaho ng mga non-voting council members. Okay? From the word itself, no, hindi naman sila pwedeng bumoto, but they can attend the meetings, but they could not be counted, no, yung kanilang mga votes pagdating sa mga issues that are needed to be resolved. Pwede rin pong lagyan ng pangalan for identification purposes as specified under Section G. Okay? Ang procedures on the SGC creation, nakalagay dyan, meron tayong una, for schools with the existing School Governance Council. Okay, the school head shall orient and discuss a policy to the existing SGC, and the existing SGC shall meet and align with the current policy in preparation for the implementation of the following school year. The SGC shall prepare for the implementation of the policy for the next school year. Okay? Para naman sa mga walang existing na School Governance Council, kailangan magkaroon muna ng orientation sa mga iba't ibang stakeholders na kasama, okay? And then magkakaroon ng ex officio members through a deliberative and consensus. Okay. Kung walang SGC, ay kailangan pumili ng ating school ex officio members for that matter. Okay? Again, magkakaroon ng secret balloting kapag nagkaroon po ng election ng mga SGC members. Dalawa lang naman ang i-elect. The co-chairperson, elected co-chairperson at saka elected secretary. So, may mga timelines. The candidate shall file their candidacy 1 week before the election through official communication addressed to the school head. And the deadline for the filing of candidacy shall be 3 days prior to the conduct of the election. It should be done through secret voting, wherein the school head shall chair the election and shall lead the canvassing of the votes. Alright? In case of vacancies, may mga nakalagay po dyan. In case of the vacancy in the elected co-chairperson or the secretary position, the school head shall open the nomination for the vacated position from the voting council members and conduct an election within 15 days from the date the position is rendered vacant. Please take note of this. Okay. In case of vacancy in the designated co-chairperson, the school head shall select another school representative So madali lang naman 'yun kung, halimbawa, nagkaroon ng vacancy dahil nalipat or na-promote, ayan. So puwedeng palitan 'yan ni school head through another designation. Pero kapag elected, dadaan ulit 'yan sa botohan ng mga voting members. Any vacancy among the voting council members through a consensus process shall select the members of who will complete the school governance council. Okay? Yung removal from the office, may mga nabanggit under Section L na mga misrepresentation, solicitation, acts going against the interests of the school, negligence, disunity, mga ganyan. Abuse of authority, and other acts or omission analogous to the above mentioned. So ito yung mga dahilan para ma-remove sa office ang isang miyembro ng School Governance Council. Alright? Tingnan naman natin yung terms of office niya. Ang terms of office nito ay 3 taon, no? 3 school years ang meron, no? Na term, no, ng lahat ng ating mga SGC members. Meron din po ditong suggested proceedings. Makikita natin kung paano gagawin yung mga meetings ng ating SGC. During the deliberation at kailangan na magkaroon ng decision, kailangan maabot yung 2/3 of the consensus of all the SGC members and shall be binding on all council members. So 2/3 kailangan na boto kung pag-uusapan. Halimbawa, may programa na i-approve or hindi i-approve, kailangan ay makakuha ng 2/3 votes po out of the number of voting members na meron po kayo. Alright? Yan. We are nearing, no? Yung mga limitations po niya, may mga limitations po yung School Governance Council, definitely. So unang-una, hindi siya magda-directly manage ng school. So nakalagay po yan sa ating number 1. Ayan. It shall act as one body and not individually. It shall always coordinate and act through the school head. It shall not enter into any bound of contract. Hindi po pwede yun. Hanggat in behalf of the school, no? Naka-RA 9155 yan dahil si principal lang ang pwedeng gumawa nun, no? All recommendations and decisions shall conform to existing laws and shall respect the grievance procedure or mechanism of the committee and shall not disclose confidential data such as learner records and other personal information pursuant to the data privacy. Okay? Si school head naman, ang trabaho niya, sige, tandaan natin ito kasi ito yung isa sa pinaka-importante. Anong trabaho mo bilang school head? Unang-una, you need to explain to the SCC members the reasons and the potential risks or effects of matters in case of disapproval, partial approval, or modification of the recommendations as part of the consultative process. Implementing policies in partnership with the SCC. Napaka-importante nito. Ngayon, and every time that there will be policies that will be implemented, kailangan na-orient din si SCC. At kung meron mang internal policy na ginagawa ang school, kailangan alam ito at with the approval ito ng ating School Governance Council. Mga simple mga patakaran lang, yung pagbuo halimbawa ng ating mga school manual, yung paggawa natin ng ating child protection policy na contextualized, kailangan ito'y dumadaan sa approval ng ating School Governance Council. Provide proper and timely information on the progress of the implementation of activities supportive of the SIP. Establish inclusive school. Refer to the SGC recommendations to the appropriate committee as may be warranted for appropriate action. Orienting the designated and elected co-chairperson about the SGC updates and activities, and chair the SGC election for the position of co-chairperson and the secretary in front of the SGC members. Okay? So kapag nabuo na yung 15, ang magiging chairman of the board ng election ay si school head. I hope na nagiging malinaw po ito sa atin. Hindi naman ito directly, may mga modifications lang sa membership po talaga based on the old na DepEd order that created po yung ating School Governance Council. Right? Sige, tingnan natin ngayon susunod. Yung ating, again, yung nabanggit ko nga kanina, yung terms of office, ulitin po natin yung terms of office natin. 3 school years po ang ating term, no, na ibinibigay sa ating mga School Governance Council members. Alright? So, I think dyan po nagtatapos yung ating video na ito patungkol po sa ating School Governance Council. I hope that I was able to give at least the gist of the DepEd order, and for other comments and questions, please comment below para sa inyong mga katanungan. Maraming salamat muli mga kapitek sa panonood. Until next time, please like, comment, share, and most importantly, please subscribe for more videos na kagaya nito. Thank you and magandang araw!